This session is about continuous integration, and specifically with Jenkins and Aegir, so it's concentrating on the Drupal side. My name is Ilari Mäkelä. I'm from Mäkelä, Finland, and I've been in the community since 2009 or something like that. But my background from web developing comes from 90s, which is like, I don't know if everybody here has been born then already, but not all of our employees in Mäkelä, for example. First of all, if we think about continuous integration, I'm not going to go so deeply in the concept because I know that most of you have read all the basics and even gone deeper. And if not, you can go Google and find terrific blog posts, articles, and discussions and whatnot. So, but briefly, it's just continuous integration is like when you integrate the new code with the old, the existing code repository, and then see if it's working or not. That's like the basic stuff, really, really basic. And if we think about most people try to think what do you get when you use the CI method and build all the systems and start using it in your projects and whatnot. So the thing that you get is quality. So your processes improve, the work you do improve, code improves, everything improves. And basically you are making better Drupal sites when you're developing with Drupal when you're using CI. It automates, when you have automated stuff that maybe you have done before days you have done it manually, it also releases your mind to the actual coding. So it improves the quality of your work in many ways. So what about why I have chosen here the Jenkins and Aegir? The first reason is it's that easy to install. It wasn't so some while back, but now installing Jenkins and Aegir, for example, on Ubuntu, using apt-get install Jenkins, apt-get install Aegir. That's it. You have them both installed. Of course, you have to have LAMP stack or something like that, but it's that easy. Everybody can do that. Another point for Jenkins, it's open source, it's free. The predecessor of Jenkins was Hudson, but there were some kind of stuff when Oracle took control of the Hudson, and well, as you know, Oracle hasn't been that enthusiastic about the fully doing it open source, so they wanted to keep some of the strings together for them. So the main core developers of Hudson then made another version of it out of it, and it's called Jenkins. And for example, if we compare about the committing stuff, when the separation happened, there was the activity on Jenkins was multiple times active than on the Hudson development. So that is why I chose the Jenkins, because it's open source and free. Drupal is open source and free, so they are really, yes. It is being developed, but at least what I have noticed that the Jenkins is still developing more. But there is also on Hudson side, there is of course the development team, and it's still development. So basically, you can use also Hudson, and then there is Bamboo, which you can also use as a basis. But Bamboo it costs money, so it's not free anymore. But yes, you can also use Hudson. At the moment there is no reason why you couldn't use Hudson. Yes, I think at least at some point they were you could use for example, the plugins. You could use them from Hudson to Jenkins. Okay, and about Aegir, I don't know how many of you. I suppose that at least some of you have done using Drush make scripts and then some kind of build scripts. I don't know how many of you have done it manually, like building your own build script to actually make the make script work. At least we have done it in the beginning. But the reason why you should use Aegir is that when you do it just a custom build script, you are developing it only in-house. If you are a team of, for example, 5 or 10 people, it's only 5 or 10 people. With Aegir, you get the community behind it. It's been like Drupal, not in that large scale, but it's been developed and tested by the community. So you get more like guarantee that it will actually work and that the bugs will be fixed faster. And that's the main reason why I think you should use Aegir than just custom build scripts. You don't have to worry about like doing all the changes and stuff because Aegir provides Drush commands for all the tasks like like migrating site, installing sites, and these kind of things. So it provides them easily, so you don't have to invent them already. Like not inventing the wheel. That's the main purpose. And when we were talking about doing continuous integration with Drupal, actually getting the most out of it is that you need to have everything in the code. So basically, installation profiles, Drush makefile, then using features, strong arm profiler to actually make that happen. And I'm not going to go that deep into it because there will be a session tomorrow about automating Drupal development. So if you're not that familiar using makefiles and installation profiles, go there. They will go and dig deeper in there and explain stuff more deeper. Okay, so I tried to keep it more like demo-like. So let's see this one. So basically, when you have installed Jenkins, you get something like this when you have. I have created already one project here, which is DevDays, and I will go quickly through the interface and the settings, and then I will show actually after I have also shown the Aegir a bit. I will also show how the build is actually done and what's actually Jenkins is doing and what commands are used. So basically, when you click deeper into the project, you will see like the settings for the project. You can go to configure it. You can choose to build it now. And you will also see the build history. The red dots here are the ones that have failed. And then you have also the blue dots, which means that the build has succeeded. And you can then, for every build, you can see the changes, console output, and so on. So if we go, for example, to see the console output, we can actually see what is happening when the site is being built and use the Aegir Drush command. So first, of course, everything is fetched from the DrupalDevDays. You can also use caching with Drush, so you don't have to every time get everything from DrupalDevDays because, yeah, some of the times when you need to build it and then you see, gosh, DrupalDevDays is down. What to do now? My build is not working. So sometimes the caching, it is very neat to have like a backup solution for that. And as the final line here, we have seen that it says finished success. So this is basically the log. We will go to console output a bit throughout later on when I run the test. So if we go to the configure test, we get a lot of options like what to do. So first, when you start doing that, you have to also select which repository you are going to use for the building. You can use CVS, SVN, Git, Mercury, whatever you want, and they have plugins for those. I'm using Git and GitHub. Basically, I think the GitHub has the best support for Jenkins. Like they have the most plugins and most like dig deeper in the like how it's integrated. So, but you can always use own private repositories and whatever. So you don't have to like trust the commercial ones if you have some one reason. So defining the repository URL, then which branch to build. You can have development, staging, production. So you can have this project for every like branch. So you can basically, when you move with the code, you can first update the code to development, build it, see if it goes through, then go staging, have the customer to review it, everything okay, then you can go to production. So you can have it like all the build processes you can have automated if you want, but you can also have it if you want to have the control on the production. You can also have it manually. So every time when you go pushing code, pushing changes to production, you will trigger it manually. So nothing like happens without you knowing it. On some occasions, at least I like it so that I have the control when we go to production. But development and staging is not that important in that way. Then there is also like the polling. There is also this one that you can trigger the build when the change is pushed to GitHub. So as I said, there is a better integration with the GitHub. But you can also, if you are using your own custom CVS, you can use scheduling, which is like basically defining a cron tab. How often is it run? This is run every minute, so it polls every minute if there are changes. So we can, after actually like try to behave it like there is actually every commit we can, after every commit we can build it. Which is basically like really basis, and if we go strictly the continuous integration, that's what we want. And then there is the part that actually does the build. Jenkins doesn't do like the build, it just calls the right scripts, and the scripts actually call the commands deeply. So here I'm using a basis as a script that's been developed by and done by MIG5, and he's been using this also on his production environments. So this is also tested, and MIG5 is also a core contributor for Aegir, so he has a good knowledge on these ones. So I'm going to go, after this I'm shown here, I will go dig deeper on what actually is done here and what gets called. And you can also add build steps if you want. You can invoke and, you can even execute Windows batch commands, add another cell command to execute. You can add whatever you want. If you want to have, for example, all kind of tests to be run, you can add them as a shell commands or and commands. That's also doable. Then there is also these post-build actions. I have just, for example, put here that if this build succeeds, I want to tag that build. Like, so we get a tag like from a successful build. So basically you will have tags of the successful builds, and that's pretty neat. Like you can always go like, oh, when's the last, which is the last working code package, and then just get it from the repository. So basically here is the build ID that I'm using, and creating a new tag, and the origin that is used. You can, for example, also when you're developing with a bigger team, especially remote team, like people from different countries, different cities, you can, for example, add that we want to put an email notification. So when there is an error, you can have a group email or something like that, or for example, some kind of intranet, extranet kind of thing where it comes, and then when you go, for example, in the morning and you see that the last build has failed, then you can just immediately react to it. So there is pretty good collaboration tools in Jenkins also. So, but let's dig a bit deeper in here. First of all, we are calling here this a script that's on the server. It's deployment sh. And the things that we are calling here, the first part, the Aegir ci.dev, it's the address of the Aegir installation. The next one that we are having here, it's the site name that we are going to create or update. So here is test.ci.dev. Next one is the installation profile that we are using the build, on the build file. And I have named it as the DevDays. The next one, the master, is because Aegir can have kind of like a satellite installation. So you can have one Aegir that controls multiple Aegir installations. So you can install on remote servers using the one Aegir installations. And this defines it in here. So we are just using single Aegir installation, so we are using it for master. And then the local host is for the MySQL, MariaDB, whatever database you're using. And then the last part, this is what we have, is the build file that we are using to get all the files that we are using, the install profile, all the info files. And I can quickly show it to you. So basically, we are defining here which Drupal core version are we using, and then where do we find the DevDays profile, install profile. And one thing about all the code examples and these, I will put them available to GitHub and to the page, so you don't need to copy them anywhere. Okay, so this is like how it's called here. And then if we go and see it from here, sorry about this. We have, this is the deployment message. Hopefully you can see it now better. So basically what we have here, we have all the placeholders for when we are calling it. Here is the host, the site profile, web server, DB server, makefile, and the build number. So basically this is just this is very, very basic SH script. We just define here that, of course, check that we have all the variables defined, and then we select if its build number is 1, then we just do build platform, save alias, install site, else build platform, migrate site, save alias, import site. But the most important task is here that after we have checked this everything, it's correct, we are actually calling a fabric script, which is written in Python. It's called, this is the fab file, it's fabfile.py. And in the fabric file, we are actually calling from this server to a remote server and executing the drush commands that Aegir provides. And the fab file is basically, I don't know, well, Python is really, really simple in this use case. So you can also use Capistrano. You don't need to use Fabric if you don't want, and so on. But basically, we have here for all the stuff that we have here, like build platform, save alias, install site. We have the commands here: build platform, install site, migrate site, and so on. And here we are calling with the drush, we are calling, for example, provision save, hosting import, hosting dispatch. These are basically the same tasks that you can do on Aegir front end with the graphical user interface. But Aegir also provides all these commands as a drush command, so you can use just CLI, which is the only case that we can use when building with the continuous integration style. So I'm not going to dig deeper on these ones. So there are many excuse me, many video casts, blog posts about what Aegir is and what this does, and I think that there might be coming in the DrupalCon I'm in Munich. There will be sessions or something like that. Okay, so basically in the deployment SH, we are just calling the commands here. And we are running them on the remote system. We are running them as Aegir. I have set up here so that we can connect to the remote system using SSH key authentication as an Aegir user. Normally, Aegir user doesn't have login possibilities, so you have to go and change it from your version setting, for example, from etc password, and change it to have a login shell so you can actually log in and use these commands. Okay, so let's do a change here. For example, I'm going to now show you how the actual build happens. So I'm going to now enable coffee module, which is actually a very amazing helper for admins. So basically, I'm just pushing the code to the GitHub repository. So if we now go here, we have to wait because it's polling every minute. It should be already here. Yeah, as we say, it's changed just now. Let's see if it's already triggered here. Enable auto refresh. Yes, as you can see, it has appeared here, and we can now go and see what's actually happening. So now we can see that it actually goes to every step through. It's first retrieving the information about Drupal, and next it's downloading the Drupal installation, which was 7.14. Then it's downloading all the contrib modules that was defined. And as you can see, I commented out the coffee module and it's there. And let's see, hopefully we get a successful build after this. Yeah, now everything got downloaded, and here we can see that it's running the provision save. This wasn't the first build, so it's not installing the site again. It's running the migrations, provision migrate here. So it's migrating because Aegir handles the Drupal installations as platforms. So you can have Drupal 6, Drupal 7, your Open Atrium, and these kind of like the installation profiles. And a lot of stuff happened. So basically, what is done here when we are running the provision migrate is that Aegir has already installed the new platform, and it's transferring the site from the old platform to the new platform. And if it fails, it can automatically just roll back to the old platform, and you still have a working site. So it has this kind of cool automation, which you can use. So, and if you think about building this kind of functionality by yourself from scratch, it takes some time. And these are the cool things that comes from the Aegir automatically with you when you use it. I have also put here that we are running some tests with PHP DCD, and as you can see, there were a lot of executions happened, and it took 15 seconds, 240 megabytes, and now you can see that also it's now pushing the tag to the repository, and it succeeded. So now if we go to see here and see the tags, we can actually see that we have a tag here. I'm sorry about that timestamps because it seems that my virtual server is not, the time is not synced correctly, but this is the latest one that was created, as we can see here. And now if we go here and test it, we should have, was it this? No. No. Well, let's see here. Modules, coffee. Yes, we have coffee here. Okay, so basically now we can go again back to the project and we see we have a build history. And we can see as a trending also, we can have these cool graphs about how the build processes have been. Here is like the red is failed. For example, let's see, one failed. Failed one. Yes, it can fail. Error cloning remote repo origin could not clone it. So basically this was because I didn't define for the Jenkins user that the git global configs, the email and the username. Okay, so back to here. So that was the basic use case of continuous integration with Jenkins and Aegir when using Drupal. But what actually makes it really cool, we can add several stuff to the basic just build process. When using Jenkins, we can add acceptance testing with Selenium. We can test our custom code, custom modules. We can test the contrib modules with the coder module, PHP mess detector, and so on. We can even do virus scanning for the Drupal core and see if Dries has been behaving badly and trying to infiltrate to other customers. So you can add numerous things to it. You can automate the stuff that you have been previously doing by hand, manually, which is very, very time-consuming and very frustrating for developers. Okay, so basically this was it. One thing about how you can, for example, use it, like how you can extend this, that the Aegir project, they have pretty cool system that when they do commits, push new commits, actually what they they have this Jenkins and I think it's Puppet. So they create, every time they create a new virtual machine and run the installations for clean environment. So they build they have the fresh lamp installations and all these kind of stuff, and then they run the build script and all the tests there, and then they destroy it. So basically they are doing it very, very from the scratch, everything, also the server environment. So this is how much you can actually do it, how much you can extend the continuous integration stuff with different tools. Okay, that was from my part. So are there any questions?
You showed a demo and you built a new site. What happens with the existing database? Do you migrate the data, or what happens?
Yeah, it's migrating the database. It's putting there are the settings of the platform, the installation. It just changes the database stays the same, but it transfers the settings. Aegir handles a bit differently the settings of the database. It doesn't have them directly. It has just placeholders in settings PHP. And it has the actual credentials it has in the virtual host file. So it just points to a new installation in that way.